Hey YouTube, it is Jedi Fuka here, and in this video I want to kind of give a little bit of an overview slash my opinion or review-ish of this game, and then I want to kind of just go through some things that somewhat changed since the last season. So let's get started with it. For beginners, guys, when you get in here, you get your character, you get a little character creation. Now for a gacha game, I actually like this a lot. And you come through your hero. Your hero is actually pretty important. Highly recommend leveling up your hero because you can switch that element, slot them into any team. You got some pretty good looking hero skins too for your adventurers. So when you go through, there's 4 different ones to pick, different clothing. I like it. It's pretty good to do. Now on top of that, we got different little things to level up through this game. I like to go on this little side core here. So when we start out, of course, you have your attributes, which I didn't even realize I got some more to level up. I'm not sure where I'm going to throw it yet. We'll do it later. But you level up your attributes. Personally, I recommend intelligence and dexterity as the primary ones because your cooking and your thieving seem to be the most used. But, use whatever makes you have fun with the game. But it's pretty cool, your D&D aspect there. Get your dice rolls throughout the game. You don't see that in many gacha games, and the story in this game, I have to say, is phenomenal. I really like it. It's really good. You get the identity, you get to pick, which helps out a little bit during the story. So this one helps out with my cooking and with the fortune seeker. I like it. It's this one's like when you're running around the map and things pop up, and cooking is self-explanatory, but definitely one of the best. Now, of course, it's showing you already how you can switch your element with the adventurer. Your adventurer is really, it's one of the best characters. It's kind of in between, I would say, an epic and legendary level. It's probably one of the only characters that's kind of in that in-between tier list. Because your epics are really good, and epics and rares can get you through this game, as I showed through my playing of Season 0. But legendaries are completely overpowered and are amazing to have. So it's pretty cool to have your adventurer where you can slot into either of those teams and have it work out. Now in here, this section I like a lot. You collect this affinity solvent here, and you get to level up this area. As you level up more and more, it gets harder and harder to do these. Now personally, the way I recommend for new players to go about this, these first 2 layers, completely level them up, max them out. Once you get to here, start focusing on your main teams. So for me, my main team is going to be Ice and Necro. So I leveled up the Ice Necro slots first to get up the attack and HP on them. Once that was leveled, I still needed 3 more slots to unlock the neck. So I went into my secondary team and unlocked some survivability for my Fire Poison team. Now that's done on this next row. We're going to be having some accuracy up for your teams or some resistance up. This row to me is extremely important. In Season 0, I went in here and I maxed out my team's accuracy and resistance in this, so I wasn't having as hard time finding good gear for it, and it helped me a ton in dungeons. So this is a pretty cool little section. And then you get up in here. This elemental affinity bonus, this helps with your 5-person teams, which is going to be good, especially in late game when you're focusing on the 5-person teams. And then you get into the later stuff where you get some damage bonuses and then some damage resistance or reductions. Let's see, now it's doing resistances. So yeah, so this is a pretty cool little section. I like the design of this a lot. This game has amazing graphics, amazing designs, and pretty much everything it does. I'm coming into a few of the changes. The heroes, the models look like they've been updated to me. It looks a lot better on my computer. I don't think that's just me. I think they really did update everything. They look really good. And you can come in here and kind of actually look at them, spin them around, see all your sides you're going to be looking at. So they got really good hero models in this game. If you haven't checked this out, you should definitely check it out just for the graphics. On the gacha games, it's hard to get a gacha game with really good graphics. This is the free legendary you get. Beating through the story. This guy's really amazing. Amazing single target nuke. Look at the fire graphics on that though. Like just that. I mean, that's freaking good. You don't get that in very many gacha games, in my opinion. They added a lot new characters this season, and some of them are really amazing. So this is one. He is an epic champion that we did not have in Season 0. And the reason why he is so good is he has a heal and cleanse, and his cleanse dispels 2 debuffs, which is amazing in a lot of the dungeons. And if you cleanse at least 1 debuff, he heals more than the majority of the healers in the game. So if he doesn't cleanse any, he has a decent heal. If he cleanses 1, he has a good heal. If he cleanses 2, he has the best heal in the game. The reason being is he heals everyone by 15%, of course, plus your extra down here when you level him up. So we're at like a 30% heal. But he gets another 25% per each cleanse he does. So you can heal someone by 80% of their health if you dispel 2 debuffs off of them. In the A2 here, he is dropping an attack penalty down. So if you can get accuracy on him, it is really good. I like to try to get him with enough accuracy to get that, but the main goal for him, I would say, is to get his speed up so that his skill haste right here when you get the gear for it, so that he's just doing tons of heals. But if you look at this game, just look at the new champions, the graphics they put in there, amazing. I know they put out Hexandra's skin now. I think in Season 0 they just used a placeholder because they were still working on some of the champion skins. There we go. So Hexandra looks a lot better than she did in Season 0. Just to compare it, I'll show you what she looked like, because there was a champion that still has the same look. So this is what Hexandra looked like, except with a green dress in Season 0. And now she's got the new updated skin. So they updated some skins. They definitely updated the graphics. I mean, these champions are looking amazing. I like that you have different types: champions on horses, champions on foot, all your different stuff. So everything's looking good. Now the story in this game, a big difference in the story in Season 0. In Season 0, everything was like partially voiced. There's a few main things voiced. Now in Season 1, like basically your main story is voiced, and the voice acting in this game is really good. I have to really give them props on actually focusing on giving us some good voice acting. Let's see. I don't know if I have anything unlocked where I can actually showcase that right now. But just so you guys know, you're playing through the story in this game, you're going to get some good stuff. You get little decisions in the story. It doesn't really make a big impact, but it is cool to have it. So story A+. Events in this game, they pretty much shower us with quite a bit of events to get some resources. I would say these are definitely good. I hope it stays like this. In Season 0, when the last month came, they stopped doing this event right here, which was kind of a bummer because we were getting really good resources. I hope they don't stop it this time. We'll see if they go all the way through. For everyone who gets this event, like sitting in here, the last one was Goblin, now it's back to Fortune Seeker. Definitely do these, because at the end here, you'll start getting these epic scrolls that you really need. And then sometimes legendary scrolls will pop up along with your energy. Now I've done calculations for these. I haven't done it for this one particular, but in general, you usually get back so many resources that if you're farming this, it's way more than worth it, because you're getting back a lot of the energy that you're using, sometimes almost all of it. The map in this game is pretty huge. We got the first little section. There's not a whole lot to do there. Once you beat the story there, you can go back and finish getting the like treasure chests and stuff if you haven't. The second area is probably the bigger area, and here we have our Feywilds, plenty of dungeons. There's just quite a bit to do in here. We have all our main farming spots, and then we got Identia, which I haven't even unlocked it all yet. There's a whole area here I still got to work through. Area up here I got to work through. So still a lot to unlock in here, and then eventually, I believe it's in here, down here, there's going to be some more stuff to grind through. That's kind of like Feywilds, except it's for your affinities. And then we have our Temporal Vortex. This guy is really fun to fight. You got different levels on him. For those of you who aren't playing the game, he looks really cool. For those of you who are playing the game, there's lots of different strategies to beat this guy. So for me, when I get in here, mainly it's a healer, a little bit of attack down with him, a little bit of defense down, attack down, some random debuffs with him, and then all damage. just to kind of show you what he looks like. There's this guy, the Vortex Boss, basically a giant Poseidon. This guy's really cool. And generally right now I'm hitting like 5 mil damage with this team, so this team does pretty good. But we'll leave there. I just kind of wanted to show anyone who's not playing what that looks like, so you know what you would be getting into for your daily grind. For basically, if you play other games, this is like a clan boss or something like that. And when you beat them, you get points that go towards your alliance, which of course is this game's version of a clan. So with that being said, we'll get into the alliance. I like the alliance system in here. We haven't started the like clan versus clan or alliance versus alliance type thing yet, but in season 0, this was actually one of the funnest parts of the game. Basically, the main things with your alliance is you get these commissions. Your clan boss will, whoever your clan leader is going to pick out the commissions for your teams to do. You complete the commissions and you're going to get these points, and then you can go into the alliance shop and you can buy stuff with it. And here, this alliance rally, this is how many points your alliance does. So as your alliance gets better, you're going to be able to unlock more and more resources at a time. And that's, this helps you build up your little like extra bonuses. You get your Warmeyer here to help you buy more dice and stuff like that. Now in the alliance shop, we go in here, right over here, and you got some stuff you can get buy-in. As you get higher up into your alliance levels, more will unlock. For me, what I did in season 0 was I would always buy the discounted Essence of Creation, and then once I got leveled up more, I started focusing on the Essence of Creation and that, the Starlight Dice. I don't remember if we had the legendary ore packs last season, but this is probably going to be a good one to put some resources into. And the way the alliance versus alliance worked, sorry, I kind of got distracted there. Basically, you would go into your alliance, you click into enter it, you set up a defense, and then there's an offense section. It would go in a couple waves. So your first wave on offense is you would run in. It has its own map. It's kind of like a big circle. And you would go just basically beat down the enemy's towers. If you beat down the first set of towers, you move on to the next wave. And then you beat down the enemy's main tower. And if you do that, you win offense, which is where most of your resources come from. And then defense, you have your towers set up. And if whoever's set in your towers, which is your main tower, your clan will actually pick someone to defend it. Whoever's set in there, if they can beat off from getting destroyed by the other alliance, then you win your defense. And we would farm legendary scrolls from the alliance, the versus alliance. Hopefully the awards still work the same, because that's how I got most of my legendary scrolls, to level people up. So that was a pretty good way to do things. And then of course the main thing in this game is summoning. Summoning is always good. Always good. I like this game for the summoning. When the game first came out, people kind of complained about the rates, but the rates are actually pretty good when you get down to it. For gold, you get quite a few. You get it guaranteed every 35. I saved up all my gold dice in season 1. I think I pulled somewhere around 110-ish, 115-ish at the beginning of this season, and I'm sitting at like, how many legendaries? We're at 5 legendaries, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legendaries. So basically, I got, 5, 6, 7, 8 legendaries. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4 that I pulled, and 1, 2, 3 that were free. So you get some free legendaries just by playing the game. These free legendaries I actually got from the horn pulls. It's very unlikely that you get a legendary from here, but it is a possibility. What I do with my horn is I look through the legendary, or if you're really focused on epic champions that you really want, and select tags that match them. Right now I'm trying to get a legendary support, because most of my legendaries are not really into support. 13, 2 away from the epic. That's alright. This is a really good rare right here too. But the horn pulls are really cool. I know it's really hard to get something out of it, but when you do, super exciting. And then the dice pulls, all the champions look good. We're going to pull our purple dice in here just to show those off. The other thing with dice pools is people get super disappointed with all the duplicates that pop up. Look, we already got an epic on there. Boom. So people get disappointed with the epics or with any duplicates, but the thing is you get the essence of creation here. This is used for leveling your artifacts. So it's actually really essential that you're getting duplicates over time. I don't have any duplicate legendaries right now, but I wouldn't mind getting one because I could use a good legendary artifact to help beef up my teams. Because artifacts are really important in this game. I do some quick pulls because I know y'all don't want to sit here and watch all the animations all day, but so your purple dice pulls, another epic there. There we go, we're at 2 so far, at 3 so far, so it's not bad odds. No, it's not very often you get them back to back like that. 4, alright, and that's a new one. Cool. So there we go, I got us plenty of that essence. And we got a new epic, which is good. We're gonna go check out the new epic. Alright. Gnome holding ball type thing. Let's see, we got a passive here. Increases crit damage by 24%. That's pretty good. This is a wild champion. This actually, I might actually have to try this champion out. Level her up and fit her in with Eric. Here. For 7 seconds after casting, number of orbs shot by the hero's basic attack is modified to 2. Okay. There's a 420% fire attack times fire damage to the enemy. Upon successful wild check, we'll cast it again on a random enemy. Be cast up to 3 times in a row. See, that is pretty good. So this will be a good one to pair up with our legendary wild Eric, which is a free one. There's another epic that's a really good wild right here that people like to use. It's melee. Tunnelin. I don't know how to say the name properly, but very similar type thing. This one gets 20% attack up and 160% attack, but it does it to the target 5 times. So you have to like really have to level them both up and compare them to each other to see who would be better. Even with all 3 of them would still be really good. Which thing when we're talking about these artifacts here. Now, going through here, you're going to see I have every epic and rare artifact there is so far. Some good ones. I'm still playing around with the ones during this season to see what I like. There's definitely lots of good artifacts. I don't have any legendary artifacts though because I haven't pulled any legendary dupes. So, like I was saying in the pulls, I don't actually get disappointed with dupes because I want to get these, which now that I have these, we want to level them up. When you go into refining them, it takes that essence right there. Going up to 16 takes 5,000, a little over 5,000. When it gets up to 20, it's going to be a lot more. So it's worth having the dupes so that you can get these things leveled up. For the rare artifacts here, I can tell you last season I used the dancing gyro for attack speed. I used this one a lot on Dane, which is one of my support people that I would dress up as an attack. And then the volcanic disc here, giving your ultimate bonus damage. I use this one usually on my main damage dealer, which is kind of similar to the eyeball of the giant, which also gives ultimate damage. However, it's just a lot more because it's an epic version, which is why I haven't leveled it up. The lunar harp, I used it for the accuracy. I had issues with some people getting their accuracy up. This kind of helped me balance out. And then the troll's heart I used on my tanks. This actually worked really good at keeping my tank alive. Now, of course, as you get into the game and get more epics, there are ones that are better. But for rares, if you're just starting out and that's all you have, those are really good. Getting into the epic artifacts, quick overview with these. The Crown of the Unclean is the one that I recommend the most. Might start playing soon or are playing now. I would highly recommend your first Crown of the Unclean. It gives you a defense penalty down on the boss, and this is amazing for all the bosses, the Vortex Boss, every dungeon. Basically, this thing is good in getting it and dropping it on someone. After that one, I recommend the Eyeball of the Giant for your attacker, because you get that 30% attack plus the 182 flat stat attack, and as you really increases your attack a lot. Now, I switch these around depending on what I'm doing. Right now, Eric is wearing this one because he has a really good battle skill, also getting the attack, and she's wearing this one. Normally, I would do my main damage dealer with this, but for this girl, her A2 doesn't really do too much, so I put this one on her so that she gets more damage out of her ultimate, and together, like when they're doing her, than if I had it the other way around. But it just depends on what content you do. You can swap this stuff around. And also, unlike some other gacha games I've played or still play, they have these like set plans for your gear you're wearing. So you can come in here, as you get gear, you can save up how you have your people built. And then some of these need to update, but you can come back after you get more gear and you update them. Like, go override these and just have sets so that whenever you move people around, you still have their sets saved. When you get into late game, what I usually do with this is I actually build my sets based off the dungeon. So it would be like Grave of Rot, Oster, Grave of Rot, whatever, and whoever my team is. And that way I can move people into like my resistance gear for that grave, and then attack gear for the next grave. Sorry, the next, grave, whatever they're called. Harpy, whichever grave you're at, you can move your gear around for that. And for your Vortex Boss. So this game is really good having those set plans. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end the video here. I'm just kind of blabbering a little bit now. A lot of you, thank you if you stuck around. If not, it's all good. I get it. But if you haven't played this game, come check it out. Lots of good champions. The epics and rares are all really good. Just starting from the bottom to the top, kind of scroll through so you have an idea of what you're getting into if you go to play. And if you're still here, I'm going to have some links in the description. It's going to help you get the game downloaded, going to help you get into the Discord channel. And also there is a link to an Amazon book. I always put it in all my videos, but just so you guys know, my spouse, my wife, most amazing woman I've ever known, is a tsunami survivor. She wrote a book about her experience surviving a tsunami. And anyone who would be willing to check that out, please do so. I would really appreciate it. It really helps us out a lot. So there's some good looking epics I don't have. I would like to try out. He looks pretty cool. So the orcs look really good. So as you can see, I mean, the champions in this game just look amazing. I like how this guy looks a lot too. Anyways, guys, that's just kind of an overview of the game, my thoughts on it. This game is really good. Graphics are really amazing. Go check it out. Y'all have a good one.